video. I asked you guys on Instagram if you would rather see a sit-down video about my conquering of the flying / traveling, or if you would rather see kind of an in-depth talk through about my training, how I decided to switch over to Team Soul, and just kind of talk about like what my goals are now that there is no more CrossFit open. Before I actually get into anything, I did want to let you guys know, since when you're seeing this video, it is Monday, my Rad by Mander's necklace is going to be restocked for the last time today at 10 a.m. Central, which is 11 a.m. Eastern time, my time, and we came out with a 4th necklace color that is a gold chain, since so many of you guys were asking for gold, and also it has like a rose gold pearl. It's so beautiful. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out at maycargo.com, and they will be available pretty much just until they sell out. I would like to start off this video. Also, if you're wondering what's going on, my tattoo removal process on the right arm has been like significantly more painful and blistery than the one on my back. The one on my back never blistered, never had any issues, but it was also because it was very light. These ones on my right arm are pretty dark, and so we had to up the what voltage, I'm not sure what it's called, for the laser, and it is so blistered and so painful and swollen. So instead of like having to look at that nastiness, I wrapped it up. So anyways, okay, moving on to the important part of the video. Let's talk about basically what my initial goals were and how they've shifted over the past couple of months. So if you saw my video with Maggie, we kind of talked about like how I was in a funk and how I was trying to get over that now that there's no more regionals, because initially my goal over the 2018 season was to pretty much train for putting a second team together with our gym for regionals. Now, I didn't know if that was something that was going to happen in 2019, probably 2020. Now, as you guys know, there is no more regionals, so that kind of has shifted completely to just having fun, which honestly is not the worst thing. I mean, I always have fun with training anyways, but I feel like now, instead of worrying about, you know, like trying to be super duper strong and pick up my weight, because obviously I'm very small compared to the other girls that would go to regionals, I kind of can focus more on like my personal goals, and my personal goals in comparison to what they were for regionals are slightly different. So I wanted to kind of go over that with you guys. I think initially, obviously, my first goal is going to be just to kind of like get stronger, but also to be more well-rounded. So something that I personally struggle with a lot is endurance, and that has always been just a weak point for me. Running, rowing, biking has never been my strong suit. So after kind of, you know, being on my own thing with Black Sheep for a while, I decided to make the decision to switch over to Team Soul training for a couple of reasons. And the first reason is that I needed more structure and volume. Now that I am primarily working from home, I will have the ability to hit 2-a-day sessions, especially because my classes are online now. When I was doing my previous programming, it was kind of like all over the place, and sometimes I wouldn't get it until like Monday or Tuesday, and it didn't have 2 days, or it was just like a little bit messy. I'm the kind of person that really likes structure. So every single week with Team Soul, we get our programming on Sunday night at 5 p.m. for the entire week. Now, Team Soul Training, if you want to check it out, just the website is Team Soul Training. It is based out of Miami here. I know a lot of really, really good athletes there. Danny is actually the guy who runs it down there. Danny Soul is his Instagram. And he has trained a ton of super awesome athletes. He coached Leah at one point, I think. And so I just like had a lot of good recommendations. I decided to go with Team Soul Training, which is number one, super duper high volume. So we have 2 days, pretty much 5 days a week, and they're separated based on types of training. So it's going to be separated from weightlifting into Metcons, AMRAPs, and then gymnastics conditioning for the evening session, or vice versa. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I think right now, and Saturday are actually 2 days, and then Thursday and Sunday are rest days for me. Just to give you guys a little bit of an example so you can see kind of like what a sample day looks like for me. Right now, because I'm actually a week out from my weightlifting meet, I did kind of switch over to the Team Soul barbell just so that I could practice snatching and clean and jerking more so than I was prior, because I was kind of just doing like a lot of CrossFit stuff. But for the Team Soul training today, just to give you guys an idea, today is Saturday. The primary section, which is always broken down into primary and secondary. The primary section is whatever we are going to prioritize first. So this is going to be the most important sections for this phase of training. I also break it up into phase 1, 2, and 3, which is also going to align with the CrossFit Open and the CrossFit Games, because they typically do have a team that goes to regionals and the games. Well, not regionals anymore, but you know what I mean. So the first part of the primary section today would be running a 1200 meter run, followed by an EMOM of 18 minutes, with the first minute being a 50-yard sled drag, second minute being a sprint of 50 yards, and the third minute being a rest, and then a 400 meter run at recovery pace. So that's the primary section. Secondary section always, as stated in our programming, says you only complete the secondary section if you have the time to rest, eat, and recover, recommended over 3 to 4 hours after completing everything in primary. So basically a day with Team Soul training looks like primary training in the morning for me, which can be anywhere from 8 to 10. And then, you know, the rest of my day, working, school, whatever. And then the evening session would be the secondary gymnastics, conditioning, whatever it is. Today example, it is front rack Zotz press, power clean and push press, and rowing conditioning. Followed by like some stretching at the end. So Saturday is a little bit more low volume because obviously Sunday is resting, and then we start back into the week on Monday. And that was kind of why I also liked this program, just because I already took rest days on Thursdays and Sundays. Sometimes I would do conditioning workouts on Thursdays, but they would be very like low volume, Z1 pace type of workouts, nothing strenuous. And that's kind of how this entire program is set up anyway. So it just kind of aligned with my schedule, and it's also really nice to have a primary and secondary. You don't have to complete the secondary if you've already done primary. That's kind of up to you, but for the athletes that do want more volume and do want to have structured 2-a-day sessions, it just works out really nicely. Also, Danny from Team Soul was super awesome and gave me a code to share with you guys. It's just Mander if you want to get some money off of training. It's super cheap. On top of that, I'm pretty sure Team Soul training is like 35 bucks a month for all of that, which is really cool. You get access to the Facebook group and everything like that. So that's really awesome. If you want to check it out, the link will be in the description box below. I think honestly, just something that I'm going to continue to do as far as working on my weaknesses is gonna be focusing on keeping a very consistent schedule and also doing the things that I don't like doing. One of the downsides about getting your training on Sundays and having the whole week, and I'm like this, I'll look through it, I'll be like, oh, I don't want to do that, oh, I don't want to do that. And it kind of like takes the fun of not knowing what you're doing when you go into the gym, like with a traditional CrossFit gym. So something that I'm definitely going to be working on for the remainder of the year is going to be working on my weaknesses, not skipping over the conditioning pieces, because that's something that I typically always do. Another thing of that is going to be heavy barbell cycling. For me, anything that's RX in a competition, for example, what you guys saw in my competition day video where I had like 60 snatches at 95. I mean, the 95-pound snatch is not heavy, but when they have so many reps like that, it becomes difficult for me since I only weigh 118 pounds. So it's just something that I need to practice doing, cycling heavier weights. Same with the power cleans at 140, 135. That number, you know, for 1 or 2 reps is not heavy for me, but doing it in a competition setting is going to be difficult. So I need to make sure that I am keeping up with that and practicing my barbell cycling. I do have a couple of upcoming competitions. A week from today is the Miami Classic. The reason I'm doing that, is because it's at Soul Miami, so of course it's run by the programming that I use, Team Soul. And then after that, I'm doing a team competition with Leah Cassiano and another one of her friends up in Tampa. I believe it's called the Tampa Bay Beach Brawl or something like that, but it's a 3-female competition, which I'm so excited for. I love team comps. And then shortly thereafter, if we qualify for Wodapalooza, I would love to do Wodapalooza. It's probably my favorite fitness competition down here in Miami, and that will be in January of 2019. And then of course, upcoming after that is the CrossFit Open in March. And then I will actually be transitioning up to Austin's gym at that time. So you guys will see my In the Open series, most likely half in Florida and half in Iowa, which is gonna be kind of fun. So that's kind of like the timeline of the upcoming things. I think it's good for me to have things to train for so that it kind of gives me that extra motivation. Because I definitely find that when I don't have that, I tend to get like very funk, as you guys saw, and just kind of like not having anything to work towards. At least I know that I have a goal, I have some things planned and lined up, so it kind of will help me keep that going. So that is kind of my whole training process and how I am transitioning into the new year. After that, I'm not sure, you know, what my goals will look like once I am up at 1031 Fitness doing, you know, God knows what. I don't know what my goals will look like, if I'll be coaching more there or whatever. So that is that. I hope that that answered your guys' questions about my training. Like I said, everything will be in the description box below for Team Soul or anything else. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask them in the comments box, and also leave me a suggestions on what other sit down type of videos that you'd like to see. I think it's hard for me to come up with sit down videos just because it's just difficult for me. I don't know why. So anyways, that's where I'm wrapping up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a fabulous Monday, and I will see you in my next video.